What's up, guys? Smitty here from Smith's Pickups. Hello. I thought I'd just jam along with this machine here and talk about some stuff. Maybe give you an idea what's going on in my head when I play a song like this, or just jam along with it. A lot of guys just don't know what to do when they hear a bass line. This bass line happens to go like this, so I'll follow it. Basically going from a D chromatically down to a C and then back up kind of in a funky way, but basically it's a D and a C. When I hear D and a C, I think, okay, D minor because C is the flat 7, or even D7 because C is again the flat 7 in either key. So, I may make some mistakes when I discuss this, but I'll try and fix those as I go along, because sometimes when I'm playing, my thinking, my speech doesn't actually portray the correct thing I'm doing. So basically D with a flat 7 is basically going to be either D minor or D7 in most cases. So let's start out with the D minor. It's a regular pentatonic. Real simple, D minor pentatonic. Let's add the blues note. It adds one more note to the pentatonic scale, and it's basically just a passing note. Now I did add another note in there. I added a B, which kind of makes this a D Dorian, which is just another color tone within the basic pentatonic minor scale. There's the B. There's the B again. You'll notice that the B up higher sounds a little better than the one down low. Or if I go down to the low one, I guess it depends on how you phrase it. So basically, hey, I'm in D Dorian. That means I can play in the key of C major, and it'll still sound the same, but this can have to give you a different position. Will give you a different kind of tonality. Let's go to play a C major scale and just see how that does. That's a C major scale. So that's going to make it try and sound like it goes in with the song. I kind of added a few little weird notes in there, but that's what you do when you're playing this kind of crap, is you just throw in extra stuff, and sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. That's D minor mainly over this. Let's go to a D7. Now, a D7 is Mixolydian mode. I can also play the key of G, because D Mixolydian is basically a G major scale from D to D. Figure that. Do some homework and you'll see how that works. But here's a G major scale, and let's see what it sounds like over this. Well, that's basically G major, which means I can play the relative minor, E minor. Let's see how it sounds. E natural minor or E pentatonic. So we had D minor and E minor pentatonics over this. Let's see how that sounds if I kind of put them together. I kind of like the D minor a little better. But the E minor also works as kind of some added flavor tones to it. Let's get back to D Mixolydian. D Mixolydian is a major mode. It's a major scale with a flat 7. D major scale with a flat 7, which would be C, which is part of this progression, right? Flat 7. So let's go and do that. Sorry for the screw up, I kind of sound shitty sometimes, but that happens. Okay, so you can play G major or D Mixolydian over this progression and it sounds kind of cool. Let's say I don't know all my positions perfectly, but I can play a G major scale down here. It could be pretty cool. D Mixolydian, D minor. D Dorian, which is more of a C major scale, but it's a little easier to think of as C major than it is D Dorian. What happens is between C major and D natural minor, you have the difference between the B and the B flat. When you're playing a B flat, it's more like D natural minor. Almost has a little bit of a Middle Eastern. Let's switch to D Dorian or C major. It adds the B back in instead of the B flat. So same exact scale except for that B instead of a B flat. I mean, just some crap to think about while you're playing over progression. You know, it's just basically a 1 to a flat 7 back up to a 1. That's usually going to be the minor pentatonic over it, or Mixolydian mode. It can also be Dorian, any kind of blues minor in D over a D progression like that. So maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. Peace.